Weather forecasters are calling for yet another round of winter weather. Aside from the general frustration and winter blues, this season's storms, many falling on weekends, have had serious impact on parishes and their finances. Carolee McGrath has our story.
On yet another cold winter day, the faithful file into St. Elizabeth Ann Seton Parish on King Street in Northampton for the Ash Wednesday service. Getting to church this winter has been a challenge for many, with storm after storm pounding New England. But the cost to heat the church and clear the snow for weekend masses has been enormous.
Our costs are probably in those areas are probably up somewhere around 20 to 25%. Plus we've had, those are costs. On the other side, of course, we've been impacted by 5 weekends of snow in terms of collections.
Father John Connors, the pastor of St. Elizabeth's, says on those 5 weekends of heavy snow, the attendance was clearly down, causing the collections to be down by $15,000 to $20,000. The collections pay for things that many of us don't think about, keeping the lights and the heat on and hauling away the snow. Because 5 parishes merged into one in Northampton, Father Connors has a lot of property to take care of, including St. Elizabeth's on King Street, Blessed Sacrament on Elm, and Annunciation in Florence. What do you have to maintain?
Well, 11 buildings and a cemetery, which means we have to plow snow for parking lots and sidewalks, steps and such, as well as the cemetery and the roads leading through the cemetery.
The harsh winter weather has also made it difficult for Catholic Charities, which helps 350 families with emergency fuel assistance. Catherine Buckley Bronner is the head of Catholic Charities for the Diocese of Springfield.
Fortunately for us, and that's for the goodness of the Catholic parishioners of the Diocese of Springfield, we have not had to turn anyone away yet. That's by the grace of God and the grace of the generosity of people. However, we struggle because we are also aware of how much we do have to spend, and we know that we are going through that a whole lot more quickly than we had anticipated.
And while all of this snow and these bitterly cold temperatures are causing major headaches in our area, Boston is really hurting, with 8 feet of snow recorded to date. Father Robert Reed is the president of Catholic TV Network based in Watertown. You can see how high the snow is piled on the streets around their offices. He says the daily Mass has been a critical service for Catholics.
Thank God we have the TV Mass, because it's really been a help, particularly one weekend where the weather was just terrible on a Sunday morning, because when all else fails, we can watch the TV Mass. But it's been tough, on parishes financially. It's been tough on people just trying to keep programs going and keep the work of the parish alive. It's been tough on parochial schools and public schools alike because they've missed so many days.
Bonnie Rogers, the director of marketing and programming for Catholic TV, says producing the Mass has been a top priority of the network, even though it hasn't been easy.
For employees, we have some employees who live in the city, which is really difficult to get out of if your car is snowed in, and of course there were problems with the T. So that made things a challenge. So it made life interesting, the snow, that's for sure. But we wanted to make sure that we brought the Mass into everybody's homes.
The Diocese of Springfield has for 57 years televised Sunday Mass on the Chalice of Salvation, hosted by Brother Terry Scanlon. The need is even greater this winter. And with Catholics now observing Lent, the 40 days of preparation, penance, and fasting, which leads up to Easter, many are offering up this cold and all of the problems it brings.
I think we just need forbearance to get through the winter. I'll pray for the elderly and the homebound and hope for a quick entry of spring.
Reporting for Reel to Reel, I'm Carolee McGrath.